I've been involved in greyhounds all my life. Grew up with them at home here in Cork City. My father, my late father, and my granduncles, all my uncles, brothers, we were all involved in greyhounds. It was part of our life growing up. Rearing greyhounds and racing them in the old Cork track in the Western Road was a huge part of my upbringing, and I loved every bit of it. I still do. Well, it's been a tough couple of years for the greyhound industry. It's been targeted certainly by an element that want to get greyhound racing banned. They've targeted sponsors, which is a very serious issue for all of us because it's the lifeblood of the game, and not in a very nice way. For example, I know of a number of prominent business people in Cork City and County, fantastic business people who had a genuine interest in greyhound racing, and resulting from that, then they would sponsor stakes here in Correen Park or in the All Greyhound track, and in that instance, once their names were being targeted by these people, and then it resulted in their staff being harassed, being intimidated, constant phone calls to their place of work, with the result that these sponsors could not subject their staff to any more of that type of harassment, and in the event of that they had to withdraw sponsorship from the game here. And it was a quite disgraceful tactic of intimidation of some of these people, and something I feel very, very strongly about that. Every person is entitled to oppose any sport they like, but it must be done legitimately, and I have no problem with people objecting to greyhound racing whatsoever if they wish to do it in a lawful and legitimate way, but some of the tactics that have been employed against greyhound people and supporters in the last couple of years have been disgraceful. Some of the politicians who are against greyhound racing should clarify that this kind of carry-on is not acceptable. Same as we accept that legitimate protest is perfectly acceptable to us as well. The welfare of the greyhound is paramount in this industry from the time they're born to the time they're raced. And when you come here to race to Correen Park or to any of the tracks in Ireland, there's a veterinary inspection beforehand. Dogs are assessed before and after the races. I mean, if your dog is in any way slightly looking impaired or off colour, the vet will immediately step in, not allow him to run. And you have to have a veterinary inspection before you can race again. There are veterinary inspections of kennels, both by vets and by the IGP staff, which is increasing all the time. So the industry could not be more regulated from that point of view, and rightly so, and continue to do so in the future. There's a huge amount of people's livelihoods depend on the greyhound industry. Jim Power did a fantastic economic survey a couple of years ago, 3 years ago I think, with the result that he showed that almost 320 million from the greyhound industry is committed to the economy from that. A huge amount of jobs dependent, full-time and part-time. I mean, I know a number of staff members of my own family who have worked here part-time, going to college and that through school, and it was a marvellous help to them. And also over the last 20 years, a huge factor has been the number of charity fundraisers for many, many organisations, both sporting and otherwise, who have made substantial profits from a night at the dogs. And as I said already, a fantastic night out and a great community night out. A lot of us aren't in it for money. We're in it as small owners or breeders or punters, and I suppose from my own point of view, all I can speak of is the people I know in the game. Some of the most fantastic people and decent people I've ever been involved with in any sport are involved in greyhound racing. The welfare issue is a huge thing because people in the greyhound game that I know absolutely adore their greyhounds. They're absolutely treated fantastically. Nothing would come in the way of them being properly fed, looked after. The treatment and conditioning of them is second to none.